ആകാശവാണി. വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ രംഗം.
വിജയവാണി. SSLC പരീക്ഷാ സഹായി. ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് പാഠഭാഗങ്ങളെ ആസ്പദമാക്കിയുള്ള ആദ്യ ക്ലാസ് അവതരിപ്പിക്കുന്നത് തിരുവനന്തപുരം മൈലം GV രാജ സ്പോർട്സ് സ്കൂൾ അധ്യാപിക ലിഷ S. തപസ്.
Hi dears, welcome to English Classroom. Today we are going to discuss Unit 1 of Standard 10 English Reader, Glimpses of Green. Let's have a glance to the lessons. The first lesson, as we all know, Adventures in a Banyan Tree. It's a beautiful story written by Ruskin Bond. He is a British Indian writer. The important characters in the story are the narrator, a little boy. He is a lover of nature. Banyan tree, a very old tree grown in the valley of the Himalayas. Grandfather, grandmother, mongoose, cobra, squirrel, myna, and a crow are the other characters. Let's have a quick glance through the story. The boy claims that the magnificent old banyan tree belongs to him as his grandfather cannot climb it. The tree gives the boy endless pleasure. His first friend is a grey-colored squirrel. In the spring season, banyan tree was the most noisiest place in the village. Different kinds of birds flocks into the branches of the banyan tree. The boy builds a small platform in the banyan tree on which he sits and reads. One afternoon, he watches an exciting fight between a mongoose and a cobra. The grey mongoose is clever, aggressive, and a super fighter. The cobra is also skillful and experienced fighter. The mongoose moves forward and attacks cobra. Suddenly, the cobra strikes, but the mongoose jumps neatly to one side, moves in, bites the cobra, and moves away. A myna and a crow try to intervene the fight. Unfortunately, the crow is killed by the cobra. Finally, the mongoose kills the cobra and drags it into the bushes. The grandfather is quite happy to know that the mongoose is the winner. The white rat and grey squirrel develop a bonding. When the boy goes in search of grandmother's knitting, he discovers 3 white baby squirrels. The father is rat and the mother is grey color squirrel. This is the storyline. Now, let's discuss the important questions. We can expect a profile from this particular lesson. We all know that the writer of this lesson is Ruskin Bond. The question may begin like this. Read the hints and prepare the profile. The question: name, Ruskin Bond. Place of birth, Kasoli. Born on 19 May 1934. Occupation, author, poet. Nationality, Indian, British descent. Schooling, Bishop Cotton School, Shimla. Awards, Sahitya Academy Award 1992, Padma Shri 1999, Padma Bhushan Award 1992, Lifetime Achievement Award 2017. Notable works: Our Trees Still Grow in Dara, A Flight of Pigeons, and The Blue Umbrella. Read the hints and prepare the profile of Ruskin Bond. Do not forget to write the profile in paragraph style. The next question, it's a diary entry. The boy in the story, Adventures in a Banyan Tree, was marveled at the sight of 3 baby white squirrels he saw in the hole of the banyan tree. He wrote about this unforgettable incident in his diary. Prepare the likely diary entry. Hints to remember: date and day of the diary. Diary should be written in first person narration. A good opening should be there. Use the words to express the emotions, whether it is sad or happy, and there should be a good conclusion. The next expected question is a narration. Question: you have read the story Adventures in the Banyan Tree. Now prepare a narrative based on your reading. Points to remember while you prepare a narrative. First one, give a catchy heading. Next, use appropriate person and change the perspective in accordance with the questions. Start the narration with an attractive opening sentence. Describe the settings, characters, and events of the story. Add figurative usages and variety of sentences. Avoid unnecessary explanations. Use direct speech narration. Give an effective ending. Your narrative is ready. Next question, a character sketch. The question: the boy in the story Adventures in a Banyan Tree is a keen observer and admirer of nature. Prepare the character sketch of the boy. Hints will be provided. When you prepare an answer for character sketch, you have to keep the following points in your mind. It should be in the form of description, physical appearance, his or her character traits must be included. The next is the features of a character sketch. Name of the character, describe the role and significance, physical appearance of the character, personality traits of the character, relationship with others, and give a conclusion. Next type of question, a letter. A model question. Imagine that the boy in the story Adventures in a Banyan Tree writes a letter to his friend explaining what had happened that afternoon. What would be the letter? When you prepare an answer for a letter, keep these points in your mind. Identify the person who writes the letter. Identify the person to whom the letter is written. Identify the form of the letter, whether it's formal or informal. Style of salutation or greeting. There should be the content of the letter, and you have to wind up the letter with a closing. These points will help you to prepare a letter in a well-knit style. Dear students, you can expect the above mentioned discourses from the story The Adventures in a Banyan Tree. Now we will move on to the language elements. Here's a model question. Read the following conversation and answer the questions that follow. Listen to the dialogue. Grandfather, where did you see the 3 white baby squirrels? Boy, I saw them in a hole in the banyan tree. Now answer the following questions. Question number 1. What did grandfather ask? Question number 2. What did the boy reply? Before we are going to answer these questions, you have to keep some points in your mind. This is an example for indirect speech. The question is in the form of direct speech. You have to change it into indirect speech. While you prepare an answer, keep this point in your mind, changing tense from present tense verb to past tense and removing any form of punctuation such as quotation marks and commas. Now the answer for the question. What did grandfather ask? The answer. Grandfather asked the boy where he had seen the 3 baby squirrels. Question number 2. What did the boy reply? The boy replied that he had seen them in a hole in the banyan tree. Now let's move on to the next lesson, The Snake and the Mirror. It's a beautiful story written by Vaikam Muhammad Bashir, fondly remembered as Bepur Sultan. The expected questions. Reading comprehension. Read the passage from the story Snake and the Mirror and answer the questions that follow. Read the passage 2 times and find out the answers. Now we are moving on to the next question. The homeopath in the story, The Snake and the Mirror, had so many desires in his life. Did he fulfill his desires? Write a paragraph about 80 words. Points to remember. A paragraph deals with a single theme. It should have unity, order, coherence, and completeness. You should mention the theme and text, Start with a topic sentence. Organize the supporting ideas. Arrange the supporting ideas logically and coherently. Write a concluding sentence. Then your paragraph question answer will be a perfect one. Let's move on to language elements. Complete the following passage choosing the right phrasal verbs from the brackets. Hope that you are all familiar with phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are two or more words that together act as a completely new verb with a meaning separate from those of the original words. Here is an example. When the homeopath dashed for the party, he dashed one of his friends, but his friend could not dash who he was. The homeopath dashed talking about his good old days. So fill in the blanks with suitable phrasal verb. Let's see the options in the bracket. Went on, turn up, put up with, came across, make out. Went on means to continue. Turn up means arrive. Put up with means tolerate or accept. Came across to meet or find. Make out, find or make out an opinion. So the answer, when the homeopath turned up for the party, he came across one of his friends, but his friend could not make out who he was. The homeopath went on talking about his good old days. There are so many phrasal verbs. Do enough practice before you go and attend your upcoming examination. Now, let's move on to the next lesson. It's a beautiful poem written by the nature poet William Wordsworth. Lines written in early spring. This poem praises the beauty of nature. The season is spring, the nature is happy, everybody is happy. But one person is sad reclined in a grove. Who is that person? It's William Wordsworth. Our poet rejoices in the sights and sounds of nature, at the same time laments on what man has made of man. In this poem, we will have rhyming words such as knots and thoughts, measure and pleasure, link and thing, and so on. The poetic devices, alliteration is used. Alliteration means repetition of same sounds. Example, what man has made of man. We will also have examples of auditory image. Auditory image means images of sound. Example, I heard 1,000 blended notes. We will also have a handful of visual images such as while in a groove, through primrose tufts, etc. Expected questions. Read the lines from the poem Lines Written in Early Spring and answer the questions that follow. Read the lines 2 times. Go through the questions. Again read the poem. Definitely you will get the answers. Next question. Read the poem Lines Written in Early Spring and prepare the appreciation. While you are preparing an appreciation, please keep these points in your mind. First one, in introduction, I have to mention about the poet and the main theme of the poem. In the next paragraph, literary meaning, a short summary of the poem. You have to mention about the poetic devices such as images, rhyme scheme, alliteration, rhyming words, etc. And the last part, there should be the message and a conclusion. Message lines which you like most, tone of the poem, comment on the style of writing of the poem. Your appreciation is ready. Read the poem thoroughly and prepare your appreciation. Definitely you will be able to do it in a grand style. Okay dears, hope that you got an idea about the lessons from Unit 1, Glimpses of Green. So go through it clearly and thoroughly and prepare well for your examination. All the best. Thank you.
ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് പാഠഭാഗങ്ങളെ ആസ്പദമാക്കിയുള്ള ആദ്യ ക്ലാസ്സാണ് ഇതുവരെ കേട്ടത്. അവതരിപ്പിച്ചത് തിരുവനന്തപുരം മൈലം ജി.വി. രാജ സ്പോർട്സ് സ്കൂൾ അധ്യാപിക ലിഷ എസ്. തപസ്. വിജയവാണി SSLC പരീക്ഷാ സഹായി.
വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ രംഗം സമാപിച്ചു.